Tonight, who's fighting for you? That's the focus of tonight's angle. Trump on the stump. He's back, strolling into a fast food joint in Georgia named The Varsity. He's mixing it up with real Americans. He's having fun, and he's touting his economic agenda.
Told them no tax on tips. Yes. No tax on overtime. Did that matter?
Yes. Yes.
She's worked here for almost 50 years.
Yes.
She paid tax for all those years of those tips, right? Really?
I appreciate it.
But not anymore. No more tax on tips.
Regular working-class Americans love his policies.
45 years.
45 years.
Yes, 24 years.
You're too young for that. Come on, wait. I'll get on. Come on, I'll get on. That's got a good one.
President right there.
Ah, flattering the gals. Well, look, Democrats like to claim that Trump is only interested in himself. He's just selfish. But the fact is, he's working his butt off. He's crisscrossing the country ahead of the midterms because he knows it's all on the line. And he loves his team.
Marco, you really did yourself proud 2 days ago in Munich. In fact, so proud that I almost terminated his employ because they were saying, why can't Trump do this? Marco, don't do any better than you did, please. Because if you do, you're out of here.
The happy warrior Trump is the best Trump. Now, remember the globalists wanted a president who would sell out the workers behind that counter in the burger joint. But today we saw quintessential Trump. He respects the dignity of the American worker. But what about the Democrats? Because they claim to be the champions of the working people. AOC in her shirt sleeves, Bernie going against the billionaires as he flies private. But look who's running cover for the Democrats. The New York Times, university professors, the entire entertainment industry, globalist NGOs. And we know none of them support the policies that would actually lead to higher wages and more prosperity for working people. So it begs the question, what do the Democrats really believe in, other than, of course, the trans agenda, open borders, the abortion industry, and, of course, protecting welfare fraud? So what's the Democrats' plan to grow the economy? What is the Democrats' plan to raise your standard of living or to counter China, heaven forbid? The answer? They got nothing. Now, Biden was actually the best they had to run against Trump, and we know how that went. The truth is, the Democrats of 2026 stand for nothing, other than the belief that Americans are too stupid and probably too racist to be trusted to govern themselves. That's why the Democrats would love to mandate online voting, lower the voting age to 16, and it's why they hate voter ID. But the Trump agenda is clear. Day after day, he and his team are methodically working to reduce inflation, attract new industry, remove illegals, bring down the cost of housing, prescription drugs, make our streets safer, and in foreign affairs, come on, promote peace whenever and wherever possible.
There's nothing more important than peace, and there's nothing less expensive than peace. You know, when you go to wars, it costs you 100 times what it costs to make peace.
What other president in recent memory cared so much about the enormous costs of war? Not just for the people, the brave people who fight, but for the people back home who pay for it. Remember, if Trump had played the D.C. game like so many presidents do and just went along with whatever the old establishment wanted, he'd be one of their favorite Republicans, standing O in every room. But Trump decided to color outside the lines. Even in the people he brought in to negotiate the important deals, negotiate the Israel-Gaza peace deal.
I want to thank every nation that helped us achieve this monumental breakthrough, saving countless lives and really bringing peace and bringing the concept of peace, because nobody thought peace in the Middle East. I've always heard peace in the Middle East is impossible, and it's turned out not to be.
Trump isn't trying to kick problems down the road for his successors to have to solve. That's what everyone else did. He's actually trying to solve the problems. And I'm telling you, it is hard. That's why a lot of people don't even try. Of course, rather than supporting his peace board, Democrats find a way to criticize it.
There are a lot of countries with whom we normally work very closely and with whom we are aligned geopolitically and in terms of values that are not on the board of peace. And so I think it's reasonable for us to wonder whether something in terms of a, I don't know, competitive structure to sort of either undermine the UN or circumvent the UN.
Yeah, ludicrous response. Is Senator Schatz dumb, or does he think we're dumb? Because no one, and I mean not a single sentient human being on God's green earth, thinks the UN is going to bring peace to any part of the world. After all, why didn't Tony Blinken and Jake Sullivan just go to the UN if it's so easy and just solve the Gaza situation? America is the indispensable nation, but you have to have competent people at the helm. And by the way, this is classic Trump. He wants to cut through the diplomatic red tape in an effort to get to a resolution expeditiously, by the way. So if the Democrats really cared about peace, they'd be applauding Trump's efforts, at least saying, let us work with you. Good for you. Instead, all they got is gripes. And it's like this with every issue, right? Because if Democrats really cared about the environment, oh, the green agenda, they would be furious about the horrendous sewage pouring into the Potomac. But no. They'd blame Trump for that. If Democrats really cared about athletes, their obligation to speak out against human rights abuses, they would be pressing Eileen Gu to criticize China. Thank you very much. And if Democrats really cared about the children, they would be angry about all those missing kids at the border. They'd be angry that the schools are in such bad shape. And if Democrats really cared about free speech, they claim to, they would be furious about how the EU is limiting the ability of its own citizens to criticize their own government. And if Democrats really cared about respecting our allies, they would be angry that AOC went to Munich and didn't bother to pick up a book to learn about any of the issues. Now, the reason is because Democrats don't really care about any of those things. They only care about winning so they can boss you around and impeach Trump. Raw power. But President Trump actually cares about the things that matter. He always has. He believes that anything is possible in the United States. It's at its core such an optimistic vision. And as Democrats are trashing America on the world stage, he's bringing the world stage to D.C. Maybe not everyone.
Almost everybody's accepted, and the ones that haven't will be. You know, some are playing a little cute. It doesn't work. You can't play cute with me. But they're playing a little bit. But they're all joining. Everybody, most of them very immediately. A few that we really don't want because they're trouble.
Now, of course, as this is all playing out, again, economic, foreign policy, agenda items one after the other ticked off. Expect that Democrats will keep screaming about Epstein because they have nothing else. They have no answer to Trump's successes. They could do none of these things when Biden was in power. And Kamala, I mean, should just be, changing her Depends if she were in the Oval Office right now. So you got robust job growth, you have slowing inflation, you have a booming industrial production. He's turned out to be right about pretty much all of it. And that's the angle.
Fox News alert, Prince Andrew had a bad birthday. He turned 66 and was arrested by British police. The charge? Suspicion of misconduct in public office. This comes after Trump released the Epstein files. Investigators believe he shared classified information, trade secrets, with Epstein. This is much worse than a PR disaster for the British. Now it's criminal. King Charles said this. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. The magnitude of this can't be overstated. The King of England's brother was just arrested over ties to an American sex trafficker. Could the King's brother be thrown in prison? Andrew was stripped of his titles years ago over his relationship with Epstein and accusations of sexually abusing a 17-year-old. But Buckingham Palace is now under siege. What did the royal family know, and when did they know it? Prince Andrew's disastrous interview back in 2019 was supposed to kill the controversy, but the king's brother bombed.
Could I have avoided ever meeting him? Probably not, and that's because of my friendship with Ghislaine. It was inevitable that we would have come across each other. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite.
Prince Andrew later settled a lawsuit brought by Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre without admitting wrongdoing, but we can assume he paid her a substantial sum. These photos were released in the Epstein document dump and did not do the prince any favors. The palace thought it was over, but it wasn't. The Trump presidency has been extremely transparent, and the man in the Oval has had his finger on the pulse for a while.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
3 million files have been released by the Trump Justice Department, and we still don't really fully know the consequences.
Well, you know, I'm the expert in a way because I've been totally exonerated. That's very nice. I can actually speak about it very nicely. I think it's a shame. I think it's very sad. I think it's so bad for the royal family. It's a very, very sad. To me, it's a very sad thing. When I see that, it's a very sad thing to see it and to see what's going on with his brother, who's obviously coming to our country very soon, and he's a fantastic man, the king. So I think it's a very sad thing.
The Epstein saga isn't just about a prince. It's already taken down powerful Americans. Obama's economic advisor, Larry Summers, and Obama's White House counsel, Catherine Rumler, have both resigned from Harvard and Goldman Sachs. The head of the Olympics might be next. Journalists are just getting started combing through these documents. The blast radius is real, and it's expanding. Liberals thought it would destroy Trump. It didn't. And now, who knows where this thing goes?
In the name of transparency, can you put up my name is in the files? Yes.
So in other words, anybody can be on this list.
Well, this is my point, because I'm telling you, when I tell you people are trying to turn me into, I wasn't his girlfriend, I wasn't his friend.
You were too old for him.
If you look, you know why my name is there. Because someone was looking for a plane, and that's what people do. They go to all the people who have private planes and say, do you have one?
The main man Epstein made money from, Les Wexner, who owned Victoria's Secret, testified yesterday. No one was closer with Epstein than Wexner. But Democrats clearly aren't interested in the victims.
Did you ever see or become aware of President Trump having a sexual relationship with a person who was introduced to him by Epstein or Maxwell?
No.
Has Donald Trump ever discussed Jeffrey Epstein with you?
No.
Did Jeffrey Epstein ever discuss Donald Trump with you? Did Epstein ever share any information with you about Donald Trump's sexual activities?
No.
Hundreds of millions of dollars moved from Wexner's accounts into Epstein's. How? Why?
Several $100 million is a large but not precise figure. To the best of your knowledge, how much exactly did Epstein steal?
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know.
Do you have any knowledge or recollection of what I just described?
I'm effing surprised. I'm shocked. I didn't know this.
And then separately, it's been reported that around $20 million of stock and cash were contributed by two of your charitable foundations to one of Epstein's charities. Do you have any knowledge or awareness of that?
Effing shocked. I'm appalled. I never heard that.
An incredibly successful businessman and billionaire doesn't know how his money went missing? We find that hard to believe. At one point, his lawyer leaned over and said, "Just shut up."
Answer the question. 5 words, okay? answer the question. Okay.
Now, the Clintons are on deck. They'll be testifying under oath, and the deposition will be recorded. We could see that in the weeks ahead. Hillary's already standing by her man.
We have no links. We have a very clear record that we've been willing to talk about, which my husband has said. He took some rides on the airplane for his charitable work. I don't recall ever meeting him.
Did you ever meet Ghislaine Maxwell?
I did on a few occasions, and thousands of people go to the Clinton Global Initiative. So it to me is not something that is really at the heart of what this matter is about.
Ghislaine Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. Chelsea wasn't friends with Ghislaine. When that invitation went out, it came from Bill and Hillary, probably. Or maybe Ghislaine was just a +1. So here we have the Clintons, the British royal family, Wall Street, billionaires, all fighting for survival over the Jeffrey Epstein fallout. That's only just beginning. Foundations, surveillance, trade secrets. This is what Americans have been suspicious about and have been indignant over for decades. A politically connected international financial elite playing by their own rules and rigging the system against the average Joe while they look down on him in disgust. They've been getting away with it for years. Private jets, private islands, private security. When you operate at that altitude, no one will ever know. And if there's a problem, problems disappear. Fantasies are for sale, and the price might not be in hard currency. It could just be favors. Everybody wanted access to that world. Now everybody's running away. Could the scandal take down the monarchy?
Right. All right. Is that all? Good evening, everyone. A new report claims that video compiled by the Obama Foundation shows that the former president wept in front of staffers after Donald Trump won the presidency. Sources say President Obama was worried about the future of his country. You know, Kenya. Body cam footage revealed dozens of shirtless, blindfolded, college-age men covered in food in a University of Iowa frat basement. It was initially thought to be hazing, but it turns out it was just an audition to be one of Don Lemon's assistants. Thanks to all the Epstein allegations, Prince Andrew has finally been arrested. All right. Officers were told not to handcuff him because that would just make him horny. They were also told not to pat him down because that would make him horny. They were also told him not to give him a cavity search because that would just make him horny. Weird. Everything makes him horny. A new video is playing on Los Angeles buses asking riders not to smoke, drink, or poop on the bus. That way you don't disturb those around you who are masturbating.
Pick your lane.
Tuesday on MS Now, Jasmine Crockett said a Latina woman hid under a desk because she thought her security guard was an ICE agent. Is she still there? Asked one man. And is she fat? Yesterday, President Trump announced that since he retook office, 500,000 Black Americans have rejoined the workforce. And more importantly, one hasn't. 67-year-old Madonna posed topless with her 29-year-old boyfriend.
Ew.
There were no survivors. And finally, on Tuesday, Jesse Jackson passed away. Joe Biden paid his respects, posting this message, R.I.P., Mr. October.
Oh, Oh, the funny part is they waited for me to laugh.
All right. So what's the first thing Democrats do once they're elected into office, besides move out of their parents' house? Well, right after the swearing-in ceremony ends, the hand slips off the Bible or the Quran and goes straight into your pocket. And everyone who worked hard and created wealth gets ready to have a giant leech called the government attach itself to their necks. Let's start in New York City, where its mayor just unveiled a record $127 billion budget, which is a lot of money to spend on homeless people freezing to death. And it's to be funded with property tax hikes, because nothing says affordable like making it more expensive to live. It's called the property tax because no gains were realized. It's no tax at all. It's wealth confiscation. It's just more linguistic deception, like when Leah Thomas refers to his junk as an Audi vagina. Sorry, Martha.
That's not what it's really like.
Yeah. So what does that pay for? Not safety, because he's cutting 5,000 cops. But don't worry, he's pouring millions into racial equity and six-figure diversity jobs, which means if you get mugged, you'll be pleased to know that your attacker will soon enjoy a high-paying position on the mayor's staff as a motivational speaker. But at this rate, the only businesses left in New York will be the talk show hosts and the masseuses he keeps chained to the radiator. Now let's head to Virginia, where after winning on the promise of affordability, Governor Spanberger unveiled a flood of new tax proposals on dog walking, dry cleaning, car repairs, event tickets, counseling. Seriously, taxes on dog walking. She's literally taxing dog. And you still have to pick it up. But if you think that will stop me from setting fire to bags of it on Brian Kilmeade's porch, think again. Spanberger's also rejoined a carbon program, which is another tax on energy. Again, they make stuff more expensive, which justifies a program to help the poor pay for it. Now on to Washington State, where Seattle's mayor, Katie Wilson, was still supported by her parents as she ran for office. Trust me, no one was happier that she won than them. She campaigned on a proposal to tax empty commercial spaces in a city where rampant vacancies are driven by businesses fleeing the city. So instead of incentivizing owners to attract renters by giving them a tax break, she wants to tax them even more. Talk about counterproductive. That's like treating an STD by sleeping with Kid Rock. Finally, Sacramento. Here comes Bernie Sanders, the guy who shakes his head and thousands of school kids get a snow day. He's pushing the billionaire wealth tax. Now remember, Bernie used to demonize millionaires until he became one. Now he's targeting the roughly 200 billionaires in Cali, who, if he took all their money, would make a dent in the debt. Even more, just the exodus of rich people costs the state more than the tax will bring in. It's all the same script. They never say, let's audit waste. They never say, let's incentivize work and grow our way out of debt. They never say, maybe we don't need to earmark $15 million for drag queen auto loans. Because to them, success is measured by money spent, not people helped. So their first instinct is take more. Because cutting spending would require admitting that government is too big, which is like expecting the mob to admit that the rolled-up rug they dumped in the desert wasn't really because of tomato soup stains. It's blood. No corrupt enterprise ever decides to be less corrupt. It's why the same Dems who mocked any attempt to reduce federal spending and who demonized Doge, once they get in, just demand more of your money. To them, government isn't a tool, it's a lifestyle brand, and the lifestyle they really want to control is yours. Let's welcome tonight's guest! Unlike most of our panelists, she's actually qualified. Host of The Story, Martha McCallum. People think he's a ventriloquist dummy because there's always a hand up his butt. Comedian Joe Mackey. Doing our show gives him the opportunity to pee indoors. Host of the Loftus Party Podcast, Michael Loftus. And he's the only man in America who can palm a Land Rover. Former NWA World Champion, host of the Planet Tyrus podcast. Tyrus. First off, Martha, why are you here? Did I do something nice for you? And this is payback. I never see you.
You invited me.
I did?
Yes, that's all you had to do.
Oh.
Just say, Martha, would you like
I
to
invite
come
you
join
all
us
the
for
time,
show?
and you never say yes. So I wasn't used to you saying yes. I'm very excited, very happy.
Very excited to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure. How do they still win when they keep doing this? It just leads me to think, Martha, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, that all these elections are corrupt.
Well, you know, one of the things that struck me about Mamdani, who I did have an interview with, and I went back and looked at some of the things that he said, because I asked him, you know, how are you going to do something where you're going to raise $56 million with your programs, but they cost $9.4 billion? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really add up. And he said, well, you know, we're going to tax the wealthy. We're going to tax corporations more. And then he said this line, or, I said, what if that doesn't work? He said, or by a pot of money that wasn't previously spoken about.
Yes. That was the options.
That pot of money that wasn't previously, that's the kind of thing, like dog walking and all the other stuff that you can tax. So he's never run anything. He doesn't have administrative ability. What people don't realize is that running things, being a mayor, is basically like a boring administrative job.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't know anybody to talk to, nor does he want to. The only thing he's ever ran, Joe, are stockings. That just popped into my head, Joe. I jumped off that cliff.
I like that you went for it, Greg, and thank you for getting Martha on the show. And I know you tell me not to come, but I do anyway.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of awkwardness between you two, and I mean, she's gotten over the fact that you're taken. But
I know.
I'm glad that we're being professional about this.
Sorry, I broke your heart.
I want to tell you, Martha, Joe is known around
you
here.
actually shared that with everyone.
Well, you know, he's known around here as a lady killer, and I mean that literally.
Maybe it's better that I steered clear.
So what do you make of this, Joe?
Greg, it's fascinating. $127 billion is $10 billion more than Florida's entire state budget, and they're acting like they're taxing the rich. Well, in the New York Post, they said that a $120,000 assessed apartment in the Upper West Side will be assessed at $16,500. That's not a luxury apartment like the one where you store your jars of urine and live naked. And
it's also true, I do. Go ahead.
It's also very interesting. It's like they're taxing guns and gym memberships in Virginia, which means they're taxing our guns, and they're taxing my guns, and they're taxing dog walking. Of course, Democrats want to help cats.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because they understand the incentive with the carbon. They're like, oh, we're going to get people to use less heat. But they don't understand the incentive by saying, oh, we're going to make it too expensive to have jobs and live somewhere.
No, it's a great point. You know, Michael, you hear about this $120 billion being spent. You don't notice it in the homeless shelters you sleep in, do you?
No, we haven't. I was hoping for some extra flaps on the cardboard box.
Yes.
But nothing so far.
Yeah. Do you have a nice little flap in your underoos that they give you? The city-issued underoos?
Yes. The city-issued underoos are the best ones.
Yes.
They have pictures of Bill de Blasio on them. Here's what we should do. Every time somebody like Mamdani or this spam burger chick, they try to raise taxes, they have to get like a facial piercing, right? Like a nose ring, a bunch of earring. That way you'll just hear them jingling and you'll know to grab your wallet. Here we go. Spamberg, this seems racist, her taxes. She's like, oh, gym memberships, home improvements, car improvement, dog walking, counseling. This is a honky tax.
Yeah.
She's doing a honk. She might as well start taxing like mayonnaise and white bread and slow dancing.
But dog walking, the gym.
The gym?
She's going after gay white men.
That's right.
Yeah.
And here's what I want. I want a tax.
Something you got to tell us?
Not here, not in front of Martha.
I got it. Well, she broke your heart too, huh? All right.
Still getting over it. They don't like the homeless guys. I would propose Spamberger come to her senses. Pretty soon she's going to be taxing the opera.
Yeah.
And that's where I draw the line.
Yeah. That's where I do the lines. You know, Cyrus, you know what gets me?
Hold on, let that breathe. That was good, Gutfeld. I know the other one earlier sucked, but that was good.
You know what kills me? You know what kills me? Spamberger tricked people into thinking she was a moderate. And there were people here, I won't mention names, Dana, that said, oh, she's a moderate. She's as left as they come.
Look, they didn't trick anyone. They rely on, I'm just going to say it, on Americans' ability to be stupid.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stupid people in this country that just read sound bites. And if you look, the Mondami got in because he had good social media and no one to run against. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
People don't care about voting low level anymore. They just don't care. They're like, oh, I'm a Democrat, whatever. And until people start paying attention and realizing that if someone's got time to do tweets, and even in his tweets and his videos, he still sucks. If a guy goes to a bench competition, forget the fact that and this Mackey was more upset because if you disrespect the gym, you got to answer to Mackey. But you knew full well going in that there was going to be a bench press. Hold on, let's just take a moment for everyone. If you don't know what the Mackey is, do you guys know what the Mackey is? I'm going to show you now. You got to cross your arms in the most judgmental smirk face you can make. But having said that, they rely on the laziness of the American voter and the people, and that's why people like this get in. He's in because the people who vote for him, government doesn't affect them. We need to start. There's a lot of people in America that can go their entire life without voting or watching the news and be just fine. And those are the people they get on with, these people that are all substance. I mean, they're all hustle and no substance.
All right, we must move on. Also, like 8 million people in New York City didn't even vote.
My point, man?
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.